Hello! Welcome to another video by Meeples West. Today is day 2 of our advent calendar where we make some suggestions for some games that we think can be great for Christmas to be played with board gamers and non-board gamers alike. And today's game is...
The Climbers.
Yeah, so The Climbers is a 2 to 5 player game. Plays in about 45 minutes, and as you can see on the table here, it's a lovely chunky wooden block game that very appealing to the eye and very appealing kind of in a very tactile nature. We've already set the game up. Just to give you an idea of what we've done, there are 2 large neutral blocks that sit in the middle of here, and then cooperatively we've just built all of the other blocks around it. That is something that can be done by everybody, and what you're looking to do is just to try and set the board up so that it benefits you a little bit as the game goes along. So we also start with our player pieces. What have you got there?
I have a little meeple, I have a little blocking piece, I have one big ladder and one little ladder, and I'm only going to be able to use each ladder once in the game. Exactly,
yeah. So what are we trying to do? We're trying to move our little climber men up this tower to get as high as possible, and at a certain point in the game, i.e. when nobody can move, so in one full turn where everybody around the table is unable to move up the tower, the game ends, and the player whose climber is highest wins the game. So how do you move is the next question. So you can only move your climber onto a surface that is either the same colour as your climber or a neutral surface. So I could move onto here, I could move onto here. Obviously that can only ever have me on it, and this one can only have Lynn on it, whereas this one can be occupied by both of us because it's neutral. So that's what we're doing. So on a turn, do you want to just explain what you're going to do? So if you take a pretend first turn.
So my first turn is to move. Now your meeple can move onto any block he can see the surface of. So he can see the top of this, so he's tall enough to hop onto there.
Yeah.
Then you can move a block.
So any block that's not being stood on by another climber can be moved.
This can be. So I'm going to move that slightly and move it there. I'm moving it to the purple.
Yeah.
And then I can move again.
Yeah, so that's your second move action of the turn.
And then
your final action of the turn
is to try and save something for myself later, which is quite difficult in this formation. But I will just pop it there.
Okay, and that is a turn. Then on my turn, I start my little yellow man, and he's not looking very happy at the moment. So in this particular instance, there is no valid space that I can move on to, so he can't move initially. So what I've got to do is move my first block, which I'll put there, and then my second action is to move on to here, and then myself, I can also place a blocking disc and I pop that on there to stop Lynn doing it. So over the course of round after round, what you'll find is this tower will get narrower and narrower as we move all of these blocks that are available up and we move our climbers up. You've already mentioned the height restrictions. Yep. This is where the ladder comes in. So if my little man here, say this was this way around and therefore is valid, wanted to get up there, he can't do it because he can't see the top of it, but what he can do is he can use his little ladder to move up there. And then, as you've already said, that one goes away. This is for the bigger blocks. So is there an example on the table of that?
No. Really.
Well, I guess, yeah, no.
No.
So if it were one of these size blocks, the only way to move onto one of those is by the really big ladder. They can be used for a smaller jump, but you want to save it for that big one where you're getting further up.
Especially when you can only use them once.
Exactly. You know, so it's, you know, it goes around the table. There's a lot of standing up. It's one of those games where everybody has to walk around. So if you've got a Lazy Susan, pop it on a Lazy Susan. It will make it much easier because you can spin the board around because it's a 360-degree game. You can go any side. So whilst you can't see on the camera this side, it's perfectly valid for me to start here and start climbing up this side of the mountain that we created. Yeah, it's a really fun game. As I say, it's very appealing to the eye.
It's a great alternative to Jenga, isn't it? Jenga comes out every Christmas, and this is just a bit different. Exactly,
it's different, but it's, you know, it's a real, as you get towards the top, it's a real puzzle because you're thinking, where can I go? What can I take to move it up? Yeah. So a really good game, one that we thoroughly recommend and we think would be a hit for your Christmas table. Thanks for watching.
Bye.